Okay, hi everybody, Shabbat Shalom. So I'm so excited to be talking to you all about Lech Lecha. Lech Lecha is one of my favorite parshiot in the Torah because it really is about the first Baal Teshuva. That's Avraham, and it says probably two of the most inspiring words in the Torah, and that is, of course, Lech Lecha. And there's so many explanations of what this means, but the simplest explanation of Lech Lecha is given to us by Rashi. And Rashi says, Lech means to go, and Lecha means for yourself, which is for your benefit. Okay, so, Avraham, I could imagine that he would hear, go for your benefit, and he would say, okay, good things are going to happen when I go. So he leaves his homeland, where he grew up, and goes into uncertainty, expecting, of course, good things, and all kinds of not good things happen. When he arrives in Canaan, there's a terrible famine when he arrives. He has to leave and go down to Egypt, and he arrives in Egypt, and his wife is kidnapped by the king. This is, of course, after years of infertility, which is just horrific for both of them. He's heavily tested throughout his life. So, the question kind of rings in my mind of, what benefit are we talking about? Hashem said, go for your benefit. What benefit? So I find this very relatable because, when I started taking on mitzvot, I definitely thought to myself, I'll just keep Shabbos and I'll keep kosher and nice things will come my way. I'll have, nicely behaved kids and a beautiful house that's clean all the time, and everything will just work out well, because I'll be doing all the right things. And of course, this is terribly naive. Bad things happen to good people all the time. And it's actually a pattern that we see in the Torah of bad things happening to the greatest people in the Torah. We know that Yaakov loses the love of his life, Rachel, very early, and then he suffers not being able to completely mourn Yosef for years and years before he finds him again. Moshe is exiled to Midian before he's able to lead the Jewish people. And of course, the Jewish people have to be slaves for hundreds of years before they are given the Torah and they are chosen as Hashem's people. Unfortunately, suffering and loss and instability and confusion, this is the birthplace of personal growth. I really wish that I could reach my potential by hanging out and being with my husband and my kids and having nice family dinners and talking to my friends on the phone. But the truth is that you can't reach your potential by just having the status quo. Bad things often do have to happen so that we can be our best selves. And so this brings me to a bracha, a kind of a strange bracha that we make every morning during morning brachot. And it says, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, gomel chasadim tovim la'amo Yisrael. So it's strange because when you talk about chasadim tovim, it translates to good kindnesses. We should have good kindnesses on the people of Israel. So why the extra word? Why good kindnesses? What's a bad kindness? And so my Rebbitzin, she gave me a wonderful explanation of this, which is that everything that Hashem gives us is actually a kindness. The suffering, the struggles, the tests, everything that he threw at Avraham and that he's throwing at us right now during these troubling times, believe it or not, is a kindness. And it's to help us and to be for our benefit. And what we're actually asking, when we say, please give us good kindnesses, is chasadim that we recognize as good. What we're saying is, please Hashem, please give us good things that we know are good, that we see are good, like good health and well-behaved children and clean houses and all the good things that would come our way, because it really is all good, and even the bad and the struggle is a springboard to success, because this is where our best self comes from. So I hope that that gives you a little bit of inspiration for Shabbat. May each of you have chasadim tovim in yourselves and in your families. Shabbat shalom.